There we go. And connecting. Hey, everybody! Welcome to the SideQuest podcast live. Why? This is the second fucking time I've started this podcast. I've already fucked it up again. I'm starting off with the swearing, everybody. Dolly Domovsky here. It's your boy at Dolly Domovsky joining me on the SideQuest live as usual. The one, the only Aaron Scratty Bones Twitch affiliate Kelly.
Hey.
And so, anyways, we were saying about Master Chief's erection.
Yeah, his suit jerks him off. That's weird. Hey, you know what? Work sucks. You know what doesn't suck? Video games.
Video games. Hold on. Before before we get to that, I want to hear a little bit more about Master Chief's getting jerked off.
Well, I was really hoping JJ was going to be here because apparently he's the one that's way into the books. But in the old SideQuesting Discord, which anybody can join, he posted a snippet from, I think, one of the canonical books that talks about somebody going over the Master Chief suit systems, and there's straight up just something in there that gets him off to relieve combat stress.
That's amazing. Cortana.
Yeah, Cortana.
They call it the hand of the chief. Goodness. Well,
got to pad that word count out, man. Got to have a book be a certain length.
Got that word count. So, yeah, it's canonical, all right, for sure. Well, video games, I guess. That's something. That's something or other. We can talk about stuff. Our first go-ahead kind of sucked balls here.
Yeah. And hey, you know what else sucks?
What else sucks?
So I have a prepaid card with like $9 on it or something like that, and I was sitting here going, there's things I could get with that. Mm-hmm. And so I was looking around trying to figure out what I want to do. And then a friend of mine mentioned something to me, and it got me craving Mass Effect Andromeda.
Ooh.
Because I've never played it, and I figure at this point I might as well. Mm-hmm. And I was like, but I don't want to buy it. Let's see what it costs. So I checked Sony, check PS4 store, $40. And I'm like, oh, I'm not paying that. So I check Origin, $12.99. I'm like, that seems more reasonable, but we could probably do better. So then I see if it's available on Origin Access or Origin Premier or whatever it is, which is like $4.99 a month. And I was like, there it is. There's the winner.
That's it.
So I went to get myself a month of Origin Access. They've banned prepaid cards. They won't take your.
Really?
They won't. It's straight up. If you buy a game from them with a prepaid card, it's fine. But if you want to use their subscription service, they're like, no, we can't accept prepaid cards because they want you to forget, right? They want to keep charging your card.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't. And being in Canada, and I don't own a credit card, and our debit cards don't work the way American debit cards do. Sure. So I can't use a debit card for online purchases. It's just not how our cards work. So if I want something to buy a game on Steam or to pay for a month of Final Fantasy 14 or a month of Netflix, I have to get a prepaid card. And EA is just like, no, we don't want your money.
Forget about it. We don't want your cash.
So I'm just over here like, all right, I guess I won't fucking play Mass Effect Andromeda. Thanks for saving me, EA.
I own that game on disc, unopened, right? As I have most of my games, of course. And I went Black Friday shopping.
EA is just like, no, we don't want your money.
And it went, forget about it. We don't want your cash. And I'll tell you how it went. It went in that I bought the way I typically do Black Friday shopping is I'll buy a ton of games that I want, that I've been waiting for. Pick them up, and then as the season goes on, the holiday shopping season, I usually wait to see if the prices continue to drop. That way, I'm always getting a better deal because the prices can only ever go down. And I'll just usually return the old one and buy a cheaper version, return the old one. Did something weird this time. Bought a bunch of games that I really wanted. And I returned, I bought them all on Black Friday or Black Friday week. And I returned about 90% of them. I think I bought 10 games with the full intent that I'm not going to keep all of them, and I'll keep most of them, and I'll just keep watching the prices as they go down. And I ended up with 3 games. One which I already had, which was I had the original version of Final Fantasy 15, but you can get the Royal Edition from Best
Yeah.
Buy for $15. So Final Fantasy 15 for $15. And by the way, the Best Buy rewards thing stacks on top of it, so I ended up getting it for like $11.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna sell the old other one, get rid of it somehow. Um, so that was an easy choice. And then I picked up Control. I kept that. Which do you have that part in the news? Little Control story.
No, I don't.
Okay, well I can talk
I
about it.
saw it. I saw it.
Yeah,
I
so
just didn't include it.
so Phil Spencer was on Mixer for some gaming event. I don't know what they were doing, some charity live stream, and he let slip that I think his words were something akin to. They were talking about their favorite games of the year, and he said, "Well, I loved Control, and I'm glad it's going to be coming to Game Pass because Remedy makes great games, and this will be a way for more people to have a chance to play it." And I thought, that's cool. That's basically it's going to happen. Remedy actually came out today and said, "No, we have nothing to announce. There's been nothing's been coordinated or anything." But they didn't say no. They just said they have nothing to announce, or basically, the typical "we're not talking about it." But Control is nominated for a bunch of the games, the awards, next week's Game Awards. So
Yep.
yeah, I think we're gonna have a stealth drop of Control on Game Pass next week.
Wow, Phil Spencer out there leaking news.
A lot of shit has been leaked. We can
Yeah.
talk about a couple of those things, but so I may be returning Control. Because shit, I already paid for that $1 and I got that for like another 2 more months. Shows you I've had Game Pass for a month now and I think I turned it on. But
I played as much of the Outer Worlds as I played, and that was the only thing I did with Game Pass.
I think it'll be the Outer Worlds and it'll be Control if Control comes out. So I figure $1 for the Outer Worlds, hell yeah, I'll do it. So that's what I'll be doing. Waiting for that. And then the third game I picked up, the one, the only, Death Stranding.
Nice.
So I bought it. I bought that game.
That's full price.
At full
Actually,
price?
yeah.
Well, Best Buy gives you like a 20% discount if you're part of their rewards club on new games. And then so that was nice. So that dropped the price down.
$54 instead of $60?
Well, it went from like 60 to like 50, something like $49 or something like that. And then I had or $48. And then I had because it was my birthday month, I had a 10% off coupon on top of it, stacking on top of it. So the game ended up being, excuse me, I'm tired. I'm always tired at night. Shit. The game ended up being like $43 after it was all said and done. So
that's an okay price for that game.
Yeah. So that may be the one that I'm actually most looking forward to out of this stash of games that I had returned.
I predict that you are gonna get in the right headspace to sit down and play Death Stranding.
Are you in the right headspace? Did you see that meme going around today?
Oh no, that whole thing is ridiculous, and I'm trying to stay away from it.
All right, continue. Get in the right headspace.
I think you're gonna get in the right headspace to play Death Stranding. I think you're gonna set out a chunk of time to play it, maybe over a couple of days. Mm-hmm. You're gonna get to about chapter 3, and then you're gonna get distracted by something else, and you'll never go back to that game, because that seems to be 90% of the people that play that game.
You know what, that'll likely happen. I'm speaking of games and games that we're playing. I'll just tell you right now, I'm still playing the same fucking 3 games that I've been playing like the last month, which are Luigi's Mansion, still a good ass game. So let me backtrack a bit. I haven't.
Luigi is a character.
Luigi's a character from a company, Nintendo. No. I've been off these last 2 weeks, right? Work-related stuff and whatever, and the holiday and everything. So you'd figure, Demovsky's got a shit ton of time. 2 weeks straight, he's gonna go through that backlog, man. A game a day. That was my goal. A game a day. Didn't come anywhere near that. I really wanted to sit on my couch and just get fat, eat Doritos, drink Mountain Dew, sit in my underwear the whole day, and play video games. Well, adulting took over. I actually had. My basement started flooding in this new house, so that wasn't fun. And then that had to be taken care of, so that knocked about a day or 2 out of my schedule. And then my car had a flat, so I lost my car for the day while they had a new tire put on. So that was like 3 of the days of my week were like gone. So there
Did you
was
solve the flooding the way we all do it here, where you just cut a big ass chunk out of the floor and throw a pump into it and run a hose outside into the woods?
that's basically it. We call it a sump pump.
Yep, that's what we got, and they
Yep.
just live in our basements now.
Yeah, that's what every house here that's not that's city water, not well water, has a sump pump now. And I actually had my sump fail in my previous house. My basement flooded like, I don't know, there was like an inch of water in the basement. Nothing horrible, but horrible enough in like some areas, I should say. And this house is 2 months old, and I've already got a minor flood. We ended up finding out that it wasn't the sump pump's not wasn't busted or anything. A chunk of like some of the surrounding cement was still a little brittle, and it'd been raining a lot lately, and so that chunk kind of fell, and it fell like the way the sump pump works. It's like a toilet flusher. It works the exact same way. So like the little floater thing goes up, and then that activates the water. When it goes down, whatever. So same thing with the sump pump. It's just a big toilet. It smells like one. This chunk of stone or whatever it was, cement, just happened to land in that stupid little floater thing to prevent it from, you know, getting functioning. So clean it up. Yeah. So anyways, Luigi, still good. My goal is to complete it definitely by the next podcast, but I'm hoping that by Monday evening it's done. I'm at like chapter, I think there's like 15 floors or something like that in this thing, and I'm at like 10. But I'm taking my time because it's fun. It looks great. It's a Switch game, so it Xbox 360 level.
I heard that game has multiplayer.
Yes, it's got a couple modes of multiplayer. There's one mode where you're sort of all on the same screen doing like this I forget what it was called. I only played the multiplayer like once for each of the modes. Scream Park or something. A bunch of Guigis everywhere. So you got that mode, and you're kind of just solving puzzles and catching ghosts. And then there's another mode where you're actually going up this tower, and everyone sort of takes turns trying to best the time and get beat each other's time. So that's in effect the two or so multiplayer modes. But forgive all my yawning. I have not had my evening coffee. So Luigi's Mansion, still good. It's not a great game. I joked about it being my game of the year, but it's not. Definitely not. Ring Fit Adventure is my game of the year.
Is it really?
You know, here's the fucked up thing.
Maybe.
I hate saying yes, but I've enjoyed that game way more than I had any right to enjoy it. From a story standpoint, like I said it before, it plays like Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. It's a very easy RPG, but it's got its little hooks in me. Like there's like this whole collectathon thing to open up all the different stupid outfits and attacks and exercises and stuff. And I play like any other game. If I played an hour of it a day, it would be you're only lightly playing a game. Ring Fit Adventure, if you're playing an hour a day, you're hardcore into Ring Fit Adventure. And I've been playing that about an hour a day, and I've been off these last 2 weeks. I've been playing it sometimes 2 hours a day, and really sore afterwards. So shout out to Gan. I hung out with Ryan Gan over the weekend last week, and he showed me some pointers on Smash Brothers, which was actually really good. Because I suck at Smash Brothers. So hi Ryan. But no, Ryan got the Ring Fit Adventure as well. He hasn't. I don't think he started it yet, but I'm curious to see his thoughts because he's like the fitness junkie out of all of us, the weightlifter. He is the brawny dude that you hate at the gym. But yeah, Ring Fit. So Pokemans. I've got a couple badges in Pokemon now. Finally, like I decided to just hit the gas pedal on this thing and stop trying to collect Pokemon. What my issue with Pokemon, and I don't know if you ever played Pokemon like this, Aaron, but whenever I got to an area, I'd try to capture all the Pokemon there.
Oh yeah.
Like I don't like to go. I like to have like this running checklist. It's like, okay, I got everything here. Then I'll go to the next.
I did that when I played, like way back in the day when I played Pokemon Blue,
Hmm.
but that's because I thought that was what you were like. I thought that was what you
Yeah.
did in Pokemon. They're
Yeah.
like, well, you got to catch them all. It's like, all right, I guess so.
I
I guess
think if you
I'll
don't
catch this.
catch
I'll catch
them
this Rattata.
if you don't catch them like as soon as you get to an area and try to clear out that area, then you'll have those gaps, right? You'll start to think, well, shit, where was this Galarian Rattata? Which section was it in? I know I saw him somewhere, but I can't remember. And you're going back through every section to try to find one. So, yeah, I ended up thinking, you know what? Forget it. I'm just gonna try to clear out a few of the gym badges, 2 or 3 of them, and then come back and recollect. Because I've got my team. I've got my mains right now, which is my Score Bunny, and I actually put a Meowth in there. Surprisingly, I have a Dynamaxing Meowth, which gets me like the Meowth special ability is that it throws coins at enemies. I don't know where it gets these coins from, but it gets coins, and it can throw like I think it's one of its attacks. But at the end of the match, you collect all the coins as your winnings. So it's kind of like if you use the Meowth, its special attack, you're making money, which you can turn around and buy Pokeballs and healing, all that kind of stuff. So I've been like maxing out my Meowth, and then I think there's a Pikachu in there and some other things, but I think I got a pretty decent team right now. Yeah, and then more of that Black Future '88. I tweeted out today about that game. That game is good. That game is some good old fashioned sit back on the couch, on your computer, wherever, on the Switch in this case, and just play and keep doing runs and keep opening up new weapons and new aspects. I talked about it last week, but just there are some games which are which are like great storyline, great mechanics, great this, great that. This doesn't have a great storyline. I don't even think it has a freaking storyline, but the hook is just terrific. It's so good to just be able to play 3-4 minutes, die and be like, all right, whatever. I've opened up another weapon or another skill set or something, and try again and keep trying because you only have like 18 minutes to live. So
It's a good one of those.
it's a good one of those games. Yeah. Like a speed running roguelike. Is that maybe it's a way to say it? I don't know. But I actually like dying in that game. It's like I try to figure out the dumb ways I could die. So yeah, Black Future '88. That my review should be going up in the next day or so. I'll probably finish writing it tomorrow. But I'm really, really digging that game. Pretty hardcore. So yeah, that's all I've been playing. Same shit as last time because I've been dealing with house stuff and trying to sneak games in here and there as best that I can. What about you?
Well, before I talk about what I've been playing, let me give you a little parenting tip.
Yeah, all right.
And this is based on when I was a little kid,
Yeah.
not having any kids. When I was a kid, still living with my dad, how he would get his time with the TV was if I got within arm's reach of him, he would just reach over and palm me by the face and just hold me there.
And I've been really lucky where my daughter she's off in her own world. As a 10-year-old kid right now, I don't have to. I mean, I could go the whole day without seeing her because she's at that stage in her life right now where she's individual. So it's not even that. Like I almost I wouldn't mind her just plopping on the couch next to me and playing.
Well, she's old enough now. She's old enough now that if she plopped on the couch while you're playing a game, chances are she could pick a controller up and play with you.
Totally. Or either that or she's playing her own games. Like
sure.
Whether it's on the Switch or she does a lot of video editing right now on the iPad. She's got her own YouTube channel with the whole gotcha shit. So I'll have to link that up one of these days. But yeah, so that's parenting 102 is get your kid older somehow. Use some magic fairy dust. Grow that age, and then they kind of go off and do their own thing. So, yeah. What have you been playing?
Not a lot. I'm playing a little bit of, just going back through some of the stuff. I've been playing a little bit of RimWorld.
Okay.
That's RimWorld's like my go-to. I haven't been doing a hell of a lot. I've been, Black Friday happened, which exists in Canada.
I don't remember. So weird.
I don't remember if I told this story last week. Like a week before Black Friday, I had a customer come in and go, I want to buy that really expensive thing from you. Are you doing any Black Friday sales? And I said, yeah, why not? And that was as much thought as I put into it. They're like, really? What are your deals? I'm like, 20% off everything. They're like, all right, I'll be back on Black Friday. And sure enough,
He was back. Wow.
yeah.
You know
So
what's crazy is like they celebrate Black Friday in the UK, which didn't like didn't us in like the US and Canada, we wouldn't have Black Friday if we were still a part of Great Britain. Like it's weird that Great Britain celebrates Black Friday because it's due to Thanksgiving in the US, which we only had it because we kind of separate. I mean, the first Thanksgiving, all that kind of stuff actually did happen with the the Pilgrims and all that kind of thing back when they were still British and French colonies. But I know my history. Don't get on me yet. But
well, the funniest part about that is like that's what Black Friday is historically.
Yeah.
Our Thanksgiving's a month ago. Like
yeah, yours
it's not.
October.
It's not. Yeah, we don't eat like the Friday after our Thanksgiving, not Black Friday.
Well, you have Thanksgiving on like Monday or something, right? Isn't that weird?
It's like a Sunday or a Monday. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I drop a Facebook message every once in a while. I'm
Actually, we probably have the same Thanksgiving as the UK. Weirdly enough.
The UK has Thanksgiving?
Yeah, they have it the same way that Canada has it, where it's called Thanksgiving, but it's like the end of the harvest festival.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Like you guys have like an event, like here's
Yeah,
a thing
yeah.
that happened, and pilgrims and like killing Native Americans. I don't know what yours is about, honestly.
Ours was meant to be end of the harvest festival thing, but I think it was like
I guess you guys are at a like lower on the planet, so it probably your growing season's probably a
I
little
think
later.
it had something to do with it there, and then there was like winter was starting up, so it didn't have a lot. Okay, this is me. I should have asked my daughter while she was still awake. Give me a rundown of what Thanksgiving is. Now that I'm like,
just go wake her up right now. I need your help.
I need your help right now. Am I smarter than a fifth? Holy shit, she's a fifth grader now. I can actually do that. Are you smarter than a fifth grader?
Tell me about Thanksgiving.
Google it. There, Google it. Best way to talk about Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
It's really weird because these are the 2 weeks that you're supposed to have the most time. Or last week during Thanksgiving, everyone plays games. I remember like growing up when like Ocarina of Time came out over Thanksgiving break or right before Thanksgiving break. I played. God, I probably poured like 40 or 50 hours into the original Ocarina of Time on N64, and there was always like a big game releasing around Thanksgiving break, and I would easily put like 40 hours in a weekend on a game from like a Wednesday until through Thanksgiving, Friday, Saturday, Sunday night, before I went back to school the next day. I would put some mean hours into games, and I just don't do that anymore. Mostly because, house stuff. Like I will say this though, and the reason I say that I'm actually going to start having some free time now is that we are fully moved in. There's like the only boxes left are like photographs. We have like picture frames and stuff to put up, but we can do that over time. And then I have like I'm in my office. I only have like 2 bins of things here. One is books, which I can literally just drop on my shelf. I've just been lazy to do it. And then the other one is like stuff that I'm planning on selling, like old games and all the copies of games that I bought and that have recently either A, gone on Black Friday, or B, have appeared on Games Pass or PSN Plus over the last couple of years that I no longer need. So I might as well get rid of the physical copy versions. And that's basically all I have left. So I'm fully moved in, fully decorated for Christmas, for the holidays. And
Nice.
I can actually, these next 4 weeks is going to be 5 weeks is going to be just some of the hardest core gaming I think that I've had all year. But like you said, I'll probably get about 25 hours of Death Stranding in before I give up. But we'll see. I want to at least get it kicked off before the Game Awards next week, which hey everybody, we're going to do our annual drink along.
Oh my god.
Which is going to be a lot of
What
fun.
What day is that?
Thursday the 12th.
Oh, good. Payday.
Yeah.
That means I can
Yeah, it's true, actually. Yeah, we payday for me too the next night.
Absolutely have some alcohol.
Good. I'm definitely going to have alcohol. But that's my favorite show. We gotta figure out. Are we gonna do YouTube or are we gonna Twitch it, or should we do both?
We have this argument for every stream
Yeah.
every year, and every single time we agree on something, and everybody's out of sync.
That's true. Yeah, that always happens.
Like I don't know. I'm gonna advocate for Twitch because obviously I am, but I don't think anybody's gonna be in sync, and I think we should just try and find a stream that works.
That's true. We could do that. Plus, there's that. Like I said, there's Restream.io, which we can. Sometimes it works. You can get it on a few different things at once, but
yeah,
we'll figure it out. All right. That's it for what we've been playing. What about some news?
Yeah, there is some news. Here I'm just gonna open with this one.
Yeah.
Remember like 2 weeks ago, you might have seen it in the SideQuesting Discord if you remember. Join the SideQuesting Discord. A bunch of our writers were talking about how all of a sudden the Campo Santo devs had changed their bios to not include their new game. And very quickly everybody was going on about how it's just like Valve to cancel a game from a studio they bought, and I bet they're all working on, Dota and Half-Life and shit like that. And then people came out and said, your guys are all conspiracy nuts, you're all crazy. Of course it's not canceled. Hey, guess what's canceled?
Oh, shit.
Or indefinitely backburnered, or whatever the fucking phrase was.
Yeah, indefinitely.
Shelved.
I like that. Indefinitely backburnered.
In the Valley of the Gods, and it looked really cool. And of course, Valve canceled it. But hey, we're getting a new VR Half-Life, I guess.
I mean, since Jeff Keighley's involved with it, that'll be the game, the GOTY next year.
Sure.
Yeah. It's that's a fucking bummer because Campo Santo is awesome.
Yeah, and their game looks really cool.
I've got Firewatch on like three or four devices. I have it on the Switch. I have it on I think I have Switch. PS4. I have it on like iOS somewhere, PC, and they're a super talented team, getting sucked up by Valve. It's weird. It almost feels like an evil corporate takeover, right?
I mean, that's Valve. Valve sucks.
Yeah. That's a bummer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully that.
So don't look forward to that anymore.
Yeah, I'm still gonna hold out hope, but who knows if that hope will actually lead us anywhere.
Yeah. What else? In terms of catching up old stories, remember like 2 or 3 weeks ago when I mentioned the story about how studio put out a game called Rune 2, immediately dissolved. But then said that they would keep working on it and supporting the game, blah blah blah, even though they're now under Bethesda. So Ragnarok, their publisher, has filed a legal complaint against Human Head Studios, as them, over Rune 2.
Formerly Human Head, now Roundhouse.
Formerly Human Head, now Roundhouse. The story, I caught this story from Chris Kerr from Gamasutra. Ragnarok they said, yeah, of course we're going to keep supporting it. But apparently they were never given the game assets.
Oh, shit.
So they physically cannot support the game. They don't have any of the shit to support it with. They've claimed that they've gone through absolutely every channel they can to try and get these assets or come to some sort of resolution and couldn't get anywhere. So now they filed a legal complaint. And they're seeking no less than $100 million in compensatory damages.
God. Holy cow.
Yep.
That's a big.
If you can find the story, if you can find the story over on Gamasutra, and the story itself links to the actual legal complaint. So if you really like to get into the nitty gritty of these things, it's worth a read.
It's pretty insane. I mean, it was one of those really weird, like, they literally released the game like on a Tuesday, and then Wednesday posted that they're gone. Ragnarok found out via the blog post that everybody else found out.
Yeah, they hadn't even told. I don't even think it was 24 hours.
I'm sure it wasn't. Yep.
But yeah. Continuing on. These are all the stories that I'm probably going to come back to again and again as they get big. Going along with that theme, Riot Games is paying $10 million to settle the gender discrimination suit that was part of all that shit. This is from Sam Dean of the LA Times. So for anybody who had no idea what was going on there, Riot Games was accused of having a very, very toxic bro culture.
I mean, I know people that have worked at Riot that have attested to this culture.
It was dog shit. Yeah. It blew up into a thing. There's a lot of excellent coverage, especially over Kotaku, who originally broke the story. It had walkouts happen over all this shit. And now Riot Games has agreed to settle the gender discrimination suit with a $10 million fund, and that which will be going towards paying the women who have worked at Riot in the last 5 years. Having said that, following this on Twitter, apparently the former employees who took previous deals when they left aren't getting any of that money.
Wow.
Which is apparently standard in these kind of things.
Like maybe, I mean,
but it sucks. But yeah, so there's that.
Riot. No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, it seems like maybe Riot's trying to do better.
I sure hope so, because there's a lot riding on. They had all these announcements, right? Their League of Legends, all those announcements they did like a couple weeks ago.
6 games or whatever.
Yeah, 6 games. They've also just announced, I think today they announced that they're going to be publishing other people's games, as long as those games are like based off of League of Legends. So they're trying to really push into the full publisher side of things, and they're going to be a big company right away, right? Even whenever
they're
party stuff.
I believe that they have 2,500 employees.
Yeah,
like they're decently big.
Yeah. So for them to sort of right this ship, to turn the slow turning Titanic away from this iceberg, takes a lot. You hope that they're doing right by it.
Well, I mean, you'd hope that they'd fire that dude, but I'm pretty sure
You'd hope that they.
I'm pretty sure he still works there.
I mean, changing a corporate culture is difficult. It's very difficult. As someone who worked at a company, the corporation I've worked at for almost 20 years now, cultures can take 3, 4, 5 years sometimes, depending on projects and things that are going on in leadership. To change. And so even if they make a concerted effort right now, you may not see that pay off for
a decade.
A decade, really, which is crazy, because they're luckily, I mean, I hate to say it luckily, but they're not ginormous. But you get 2,500 people, that's still like you said, a decent sized company, and that does take a long time.
Like, luckily, in the games industry, at any rate, things tend to, at least it seems this way, things seem to move faster.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true.
Than the games industry, despite the fact that it's one of the biggest industries on the planet, is still young enough that things have the luxury of moving quickly when they need to. The automotive industry, just pulling at random, not because you happen to be in it. That's what, a century old, 150 years old.
150 years old, yeah.
Like, there's a lot of history there that you kind of got to wade through when you want to change something that's significant. That's not there for the games industry yet. Not really. Mm-mm. So I'd love to see Riot continue to do better.
I'm hopeful. I'm crossing my fingers. I don't want to say cross my fingers, but because I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt and say that they're actually trying to do something. So
yeah, fingers crossed.
Yep.
Hey, speaking of shitty corporate culture, you hear about this Razer thing?
I'm gonna go ahead. Because this guy's been shady the whole time, right?
I guess, yeah. Today was the first I heard of any of this. The CEO of Razer, I think it was the CEO, right?
Yeah, I said CEO. Yeah.
Apparently, just whenever he's unhappy with some shit, he'll like lose his mind and tell people off and scream at them and like smash products and stuff like that. And went on to defend his actions, as I think he described himself. He's, well, of course I'm passionate, and I have to show them that what they've done is wrong and bad.
Well, he's the guy who will fuck up on Twitter and like give a code out for everybody to get games for like 95% off by accident. And
Yeah,
then
he's an idiot.
and then he'll try to rescind it and say everybody bought those and isn't able to, we can't cover it and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, he seems like a real go getter.
He seems like a good dude to work for. Buy Razer.
Good dude to work for. I haven't bought a Razer item in.
I've never owned a Razer product.
I don't think I have either.
Yeah. I just threw it in there because I saw it today. Hey, here's another old story. Star Citizen. You remember that game?
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah,
the biggest
that game
ever, right?
I think the last time we talked about it, they had just passed 180 million in crowdfunding. They just passed 250 million in crowdfunding.
Is the game ever going to come out?
No, not a fucking chance.
How are people spending money on something that's not there? This is bizarre to me.
So I own that game. Like, I could log in and fly around in that game right now. There's fuck all to do in that game, but I could do it.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it looks pretty. It barely runs on my computer.
I don't think it can get to run on my computer, and I don't know. I mean, I haven't haven't gotten into the game at all. I haven't gotten too deep into it, but
they're at a quarter. They're at $250 million.
That's insane. That's absolutely insane. How long has the game been in development? Like 10 years, something crazy like that. It's been forever. I think it's been forever.
I'm pretty sure the first story that I wrote about it for SideQuesting, it was already announced, and I wrote that in 2012.
All right, I'm checking out the wiki on this bad boy. Star Citizen from Robert Space Industries. At 250 million.
2012.
Development of the game began in 2011.
Yeah, there we go. I knew it existed when I wrote that story.
Yeah, that's insane. Absolutely bonkers.
Originally meant to be released in 2014. It is now almost 2020. That game still isn't out.
We had a conversation earlier this week about Kickstarter projects and crowdfunding and stuff. You didn't, but I had a conversation with a few other folks on the old Twitters, the Gregorys and everybody else. But I funded a game in 2012 that achieved, maybe it was 2011, 2012, around the same time as this. It was called Space Venture, and it was by the guys who created the Space Quest series. I loved Space Quest. That was my jam in the 80s and early 90s. That series, that Sierra Online series. Well, the creators of that decided to kickstart their own game called Space Venture, and it's 2020, and the game is still not out. One of the guys, I think, that was helping them develop it had either serious medical condition or passed away in the middle of the development.
Updated June 2nd, 2019.
June 2nd? Wow, that was that soon. Huh. That
Apparently.
short time ago. Yeah, right around the E3 time.
10,809 backers pledged $539,767 to that game.
You get that feedback from Kickstarter. You'll get like a message or something and give you a status update. And I believe they've burned through the money already, if I'm correct. Like it's gone basically. These guys have been promoting the game. They're well-known designers, and they seem like totally genuine. It just feels like they got in way over their head with this game. Anyways, that's no Star Citizen by any means. But could you imagine if Star Citizen went that route and they said, "Hey guys, we decided we can't make this game anymore. Thanks for $250 million. Thanks for the big social experiment."
Thanks for the money, losers.
What else you got?
Let me see. So there's that. Oh, we already kind of touched on it. The last thing I got on here is just less news, more facts. 2019's the Video Game Awards, otherwise known as the Keeleys.
The Keeleys
is going to be 2.5 hours long and is apparently going to feature 10 brand new game announcements.
Yes.
And this is from Sal Romano at Gematsu.
Sal's a good guy. I'm going to let you know, right, a few of those have already leaked, right? Didn't
probably
Resident Evil 3 kind of leak?
Oh my God, yeah, forever ago,
but like yesterday, the day before, like the icons actually show up in the PlayStation Store. Oops. that was probably one of those announcements next week.
The wolf, the one of those was half leaked. The wolf eye thing.
Wolf Eye. Yep, that one, and then let's see, there was something else that had leaked. I forget what else had leaked, but yeah, I think like 3+ games have already leaked. But it's great that we're gonna get 10 new game reveals. I mean, Half-Life was gonna be revealed then.
So I'm looking at this article from Sal right here.
Mm-hmm.
And he has a quote from Keighley saying that there are no plans, never were, to do anything with Resident Evil 3 at the show, according to Keighley.
Okay. Sure, dude. But yeah, I always have a great time seeing the world premiere. Take a shot every time there's a world premiere.
My stomach is seizing up just thinking about last year.
I might have to get some Fireball as well. I love Fireball. I might have to do that too. I might have to have Fireball on one side and like Tennessee Honey Whiskey on the other side. Just kind of.
I have a bottle of sake that has been sitting. It's just been sitting in my fridge waiting for a moment, and I might just heat that shit up and drink that and get myself obliterated for the Game Awards.
What my drinking is gonna be. I have to go into work the next day, but
yeah, me too.
It's gonna be but I have to go in be at work at like 7.
What are you implying? You implying I go into work late?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
I mean, for as sort of so as the Game Awards, I went to the Game Awards once. By the way, the Game Awards don't ever buy your tickets because they throw them away. They like give them away to people because they want to fill up the arena.
Jeff Keighley, if you wait until the night of the Game Awards, he gets on top of the LA Convention Center or wherever the fuck they hold it, and he just throws them. He makes it rain. You just get your tickets.
But no, they give them away like leading up to the Game Awards, like that. I think it's usually like the 2 days before then. They'll just start giving them away because they don't want to have empty shots, empty seats during the shots of the show. So, yeah, if you're planning on going, if you haven't bought your ticket yet, you're probably pretty safe. Either way, I mean, you could buy it that day, or you can kind of wait and get it free.
There is one piece of breaking news.
Go ahead.
I just caught this, and it's so important that I had to cut off talking about the Game Awards. Apparently today, EA released a patch for NHL 20 that randomly adds Snoop Dogg as a commentator for your game.
Hell yeah!
And this is sourced off a YouTube video from EA Sports that just shows Snoop Dogg recording his lines.
I'm good. I like this idea. I'm all interested in NHL 20.
I mean, now I got to buy a hockey game.
Now I got to buy my first hockey game in ages. I've always liked the NHL games, weirdly enough. I just never was... Let me put it this way. My team has sucked so bad locally, the Red Wings, that has driven me away from...
Yeah, you got like, what, a 78 average, something like that?
Yeah.
In those games?
Yep. Yeah.
I don't have a team.
You don't have a team, that's true.
I don't have a team. The closest thing to a team I have is that when I was in grade 5, my homeroom teacher used to have all of his students bring him in like empty, like bagless bread tags, which he would collect all year and then would donate them. I don't know. There was some charity that collected them or recycled them or something like that. He would get these like by the end of the year, he would have like literally like a dozen full-size aquariums in the classroom filled with bread tags.
Really?
And yeah, and he would just donate them, and it was something to do with his team, which was the Boston Bruins for some reason.
Okay.
Boston and Nova Scotia kind of have a thing that goes back forever. Like they get their tree from us and stuff like that.
All right, that's a positive.
Yeah, like they were like really close knit for some reason in Halifax and Boston. So like that was his team, and all I remember is bread tags.
That's how you get to come to PAX East.
Yeah. Well, that's why. I mean, originally, that's why I wanted to go to PAX East because it was like, yeah, I got to go to Boston. What are you talking about? Of course I do. But nope.
We may not have much representation at all at PAX East this year, which is a bummer. Everybody's busy. Like it falls on the shittiest week. Like that last week of February. Really, come on. Actually, it seems like they didn't want it to do it that weekend either, but everything was booked. So
I just, what the best time for that would be? March break.
Yeah, it would be. It would be.
Throw PAX East over St. Patrick's
They
Day in Boston.
Oh god, I think they had it one year around that week. Oh god, it was awesome. It was awesome. Like late March, mid to late March is fantastic for that.
You already can't drive in Boston, so
Yeah,
like worrying about the traffic around St. Patrick's
you're
Day
not
in
worried about
Boston.
driving because you're gonna be drinking and walking. So,
Oh yeah.
yeah. What else? Any other news?
No,
From
that's
here?
that's
Okay,
everything I
I
got.
can throw a couple out there. Phil Spencer. So the next gen gaming wars are starting to heat up now. Phil
P-Dog.
Spencer, P Dog, Xbox P3 tweeted out today, or no, yesterday. Sorry, yesterday at 5:28. He says, "And it started this week. I brought my Project Scarlet console home, and it's become my primary console. Playing my games, connecting to the community, and yes, using my Elite Series 2 controller, having a blast." Great work by the team. 2020 is going to be an incredible year. So, P Dog has been playing against us in many games using his Project Scarlet console. So it's probably a dev. I mean, sure, it's like a dev kit, but
Sure.
in some like basic basic design casing, because they're not going to give away the final design to not even the CEO with a year left before release. So it's probably just like a tower that's console jammed into a tower. So
The
don't get your hopes
PS5
up, but
the PS5 dev kit, those pictures
that's
that are
what I was
out
going to get
there.
into next. Yeah.
Those things, I mean, there's that news story that like that photograph that apparently a janitor took from somewhere that
You
saw
can
the
find
two
it
of them
on SideQuesting, actually.
on SideQuesting. Yeah, I want that machine, and I know the final PS5 is not going to look like
It won't
that.
look anything like that. That's a dev kit. It's an ugly design, but I love it.
No, it's gorgeous.
It's so ugly. I want it. It's a
It
V
looks
or
like
an A or whatever it is.
it's a V. It's a Roman numeral
It's
5.
Roman numeral 5. Oh, damn it! I didn't even pick up on that.
Yeah.
But it's like the original Xbox console. They teased it with like a giant block X. Do you remember that? It was really weird.
You just let me run this past you. I want you to picture that PS5 dev kit. Just picture it in your mind.
Okay.
Now put this on top of it, and you have a spaceship from Star Wars.
That, you know what, that would actually work pretty well. That work pretty well.
It looks amazing, and I want one.
I would not be surprised if somebody comes up with the way to 3D print that, right? I mean, someone's got to already
Totally.
have created the data. I mean, it's not hard to make that data. The plans were out there. Sony published it with their pen. Now we have the photographs to see it better. You can mod up a PC case to look exactly like that. Oh,
Sure.
that'd be hot. Yeah, I think it's ugly, but I get it. I know why people like it. So, that's out in the wild. I mean, they're getting close.
I'm just gonna call John PlayStation. Once
Yes,
those machines are once those actual PS5s are out, I'm just gonna call up John PlayStation and be like, "Can I just have a dev
Hey,
kit?
John. Hey, John.
I'm not a game dev. I just want
Yeah.
to put it on my shelf, man.
Because it's hot. HOTT for the DOGG.
Come on, John."
And we mentioned Resident Evil 3. And then I think that's basically it. Oh, Nintendo, a couple quick Nintendo things. They're launching in China next week, which is, I think, Tencent, the biggest company on the planet. Tencent is going to be launching the Switch, going to be handling the Switch in China. So, launches next week. Literally just announced they've already got 50,000 pre-orders. So that thing is going to skyrocket in sales like crazy. Speaking of skyrocketing in sales, Nintendo said the Switch had its biggest week ever over Black Friday week last week, selling over 830,000 editions of the Switch last week. So that's a hell of a lot of consoles Nintendo has sold with a device that's arguably a 13 or 14-year-old piece of hardware that they're managing to sell, because those visuals aren't any better than the Xbox 360 and the PS3, and it's selling. I guess just that sweet spot hits the market the way it needs to be. So
Nintendo gonna do what Nintendo gonna do.
It's funny because a healthy Nintendo, we've said it before, and it's a known. A healthy Nintendo makes, you can't have a healthy market, a gaming market, without a healthy Nintendo.
Nintendo is like, it's like, when you're sitting in a house and like you're just watching the TV or whatever, and everything's fine, nothing's happening. It's just a normal day. Like, it's not too bright out, it's not too hot out. There's no rain, there's no precipitation. It's just one of those days. One of those days that blur into the back of your mind once you're like 24 hours away from it, and then a ghost goes through your living room.
Yeah,
and you're like,
wait, what?
You're like, what's up? And then the ghost.
Why is that ghost like has the word Labo on it? What is the Labo?
Exactly. It's like, it's Nintendo. Don't worry about it. And you're like, all right. That's Nintendo, man. Like, they just exist. Like, they just float through these console generations.
They don't care. They're like, let's just, yeah. And that thing, it's the stupid thing about the Switch is that it's fine. I mean, it's not built great because mine sounds like a jet engine is taken off when the fan starts.
It's a bit too small.
It's a bit too small for a guy with huge mitts like you have. Mine, the fan on mine whirs like crazy. I'm actually kind of bummed that I didn't trade it in and get one of the new better battery switches, but I might still do that. But yeah, we're at least a year away from any kind of console update. And next year they're going to take on the new consoles, which are both launching next year around this time. They're going to take them on with, like, you're going to have Zelda next year, and you'll probably have Mario Party or Metroid or something. I don't know. You'll have one or two big games by Nintendo next fall that will, the kiddos are going to love it for the Switch. The rest of us might be buying PS5s and Xboxes, but the Switch. I
gotta start saving.
Yeah,
those things. I'm firm on my prediction that PS5 is gonna come out at like $800.
I'm guessing it's
800 Canadian.
Okay, I'm thinking I'm gonna say that they're both gonna be $499. They're gonna kick off at $499.
800 Canadian would be 606 US, so $599. $599 USD is what I'm saying.
I'm gonna say we should make our predictions for that. I'm gonna say $499 US. Actually, you know what would be a good show? Here's what we'll do. Since we're kind of wrapped up here, we'll do our stupid drunken thing next week, and then the week after that we'll do we'll do like our game of the year podcast episode, and then we'll do the holy shit. Then the week after that is Christmas. Good Lord. So we'll have Christmas week, but we'll do kind of a prediction week for what we think's gonna happen in 2020. That kind of stuff. So I think it'll be kind of fun.
$599.
$599 is your guess. Right.
Yep.
I'm gonna say $499, but then Sony will drop like a $399 and just take their big.
No, here's what's gonna happen.
Dual shock and stick it out.
Somebody's gonna come in here and say $459, and then declare that we're playing closest to, not Price is Right rules.
Yeah, the closest to, not Price is Right rules, without going over. Aaron, thank you for joining me tonight. We had a failed start, but we actually managed to kick almost an hour of this bad boy off. So that's good.
Yeah, we covered some stuff. At some point, you and I are going to have played something new. Someday. Yeah. I'm telling you guys, next week will be Death Stranding for sure. And then I'm going to have I'm going to play there's a VR game that I'll be playing. So that I can talk about. I mean, I can talk about it now because it's out, but I'll talk more about it next week. Yeah.
That's it. Okay. Where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitch and Twitter at ScrattyBones.
You can find me at Domofsky. You can find us at SideQuesting. And that is it, everybody. See ya. We love you. See you next week.